to take rotations or to just run straight to point. It'd be nice to see how the teams want to adapt and change here.
But we're going to get things going here. The Legion on the attack. And I'm curious to see if they're going to stay in on this. It looks like they're just waiting for Dalton to give them some scouting info, and then they're going to swap in full one way or another. Wolf going over to the Zen, Dalton going over to the Zarya. So standard 3-3 out here for the Legion.
3-3 versus 3-3 here. Mayhem Academy holding close. Going to deny Legion the entry. Going to look to trade these bubbles, win the bubble war, and eventually win the shield war.
And Legion not wasting any time. Straight down the middle is where they're going to go here. Trying to look for the early pickoff on the fact. And just able to back on out now, looking for a counter engage of their own. In fact, just charging the pole there. As it turns out, gets very much displaced, eating a whole lot of damage in the process. Bishu finishing him off. In fact, just was not in control of his own destiny there.
Not in control of his own destiny, and huge displacement for the rest of Legion. Legion now going to be cleaned up on the point. Despite Manton getting 2 frags there, it will slow them down. And look, 3 frags for Manton, actually. It's going to slow down Legion. They're going to slow down the snowball just a bit.
Yeah, it's not something that'll save the point, but it's still worthwhile, as you say, because you prevent the entire scenario where you take the point and then everyone rushes in as 6 directly to point B. Mayhem Academy, if nothing else, they get some time to focus and rethink.
Yeah, you saw Fact when we talked about him not being in control of his own destiny. He was putting himself in a position to punish Water, who was a little bit far out, but Water got the bubble. He was able to get away, and then Fact just got punished for being that far out and displaced.
But Mayhem Academy now looking at a 6.5-minute hold here on point B. Legion, of course, this is do or die. Should they fail here in Hanamura, that's it. Their season is over. And Mayhem Academy will be going to the grand finals here in North America East.
So Mayhem holding top, holding the high ground. You see the rally invested for Water. The boop coming out for Bishu, but Mayhem just rotate. They're on the point now.
Mayhem rotate back, but it's not a bad engage here starting out from Legion. Graviton up and ready. Mayhem can use the barrier early, try and counter engage it. Use it against Dalton. So Dalton down even as the Graviton comes out. Mayhem Academy up 1. Transcendence going to be mitigating the effects of the grab. And right now, Legion just really down in damage, losing the Zarya early, and the rest soon to follow right after.
Under no circumstance should I think Mayhem won that fight. Not only was the beat force early for Paintbrush to keep Pikachu alive, Fat got booped down onto low ground. There was no Reinhardt in the fight. It was a free setup there for their grab, and they just couldn't clean up anything there. Mayhem Academy bending back, coming back in, and Legion just not finishing up frags they should have.
I think it was because Dalton still got picked off. Dalton kind of put himself out of position to land the grab and got punished, so he wasn't even there to follow up on his own grab.
That is a huge play there coming out. Legion now having to re-enter the point. They did trade support ults. They did trade rally. I mean, there's no support ults on the field now, but they don't have grab, and Academy do. Mayhem Academy do.
Legion's going to go high ground. Bishu coming in from the flank. Grab beat, and what a great grab beat by Bishu in off the flank. Shax never saw it coming. The bomb gets Paintbrush for good measure, and here comes a shatter from Panker. Poetry in motion from Gladiators Legion. Absolutely fantastic.
That was one of the best D.Va plays I think I've seen in a long time from Bishu. Not only does he flank from the opposing bridge, eat the grab from behind Shax where he's not seeing him, he drops the bomb on the corner to deny the rotation from the supports, and Paintbrush dies because of it.
That was, I'm totally with you.
That was sublime. That was actually sublime from Bishu.
That is the type of thing where if someone doesn't immediately clip and put on Reddit and Twitter and any other different sources you could think of, you're messing up. That was one of the best D.Va plays I've ever seen, and I've been casting Overwatch since 2015. Bishu can pat himself on the back for that one because that was ridiculous.
It was beautiful. It was just absolutely beautiful there. It was like Michelangelo's David of D.Va plays.
Yeah, that
sculpted to perfection.
That was a highlight of highlights. Like, I don't even know what more to say to that. That was just ridiculous. I would say here, if it was any other player, put him in OWL, but he already is. He's just recovering.
Yes, he is on a 2-way contract, and he's just recovering due to his health issues.
Oh, man, that was... I still can't believe it. That was ridiculous.
Very good. Very, very good there from Mr. Bishu. And to top it all off, fast time bank here for Legion. They may not have won that snowball fight initially, but off of that second fight right there onto Hanamura, that is a little under 5 minutes for their offense, for their time bank.
It's a really good time for the Legion, where, again, the Legion are facing elimination here. So that's pretty much what they need to come out with if they want to have any chance of reversing the series. Now, don't forget, Mayhem Academy, one thing they've been defined by all season long is having a super decisive offense, so they still can set a quicker time.
You see Wolf actually on the Ana going to be trying to set up a set nade here. Mayhem Academy rolling out on the triple DPS. Actually, not triple DPS. It's actually still going to be 2-2. Or 3-2-1, I should say, with the triple support, just with Shax on the Widow. So their goal here, as they swap. You don't never trust them in the spawn. Wolf going to go for another set nade, but now they're making the full swap up here onto 3-3. They see Legion's composition, and they see the double slow heal, no Brigida. This means Fact and Manitin both, and Mangachu. I mean, really, all their frontline can be a lot more aggressive. They don't have to fear nearly as much.
No, not in the least. And all right, Paintbrush living dangerously up on top. Mayhem Academy gonna go to actively contest the high ground. It works out. They get Water again. It doesn't matter what hero is on. Water's always the first target for any team that plays the Legion.
That was really Manitin just making an incredibly smart play. Not only recognizing the position, there was no nade available for Water anymore, but there's no Brigida. There's nothing to save Water unless Ludia is there and Wolf were there to peel for him, but they were so split.
Really, really nice setup here from Mayhem Academy. And
that
now,
was flat. That was fast.
It's really quick. And as I said, this is what they've been doing all season long. They're very, very good at set openings, alt-neutral fights, and early attacks, particularly on Assault. So even as good as the Legion setup was, with Bishu having one of the best D.Va plays of all time, I got news for you. Mayhem Academy could still have a quicker overall time here.
The saving grace for Legion is going to be Dalton here once again. Dalton has the grab. Built it very, very fast, actually. Shax, I mean, only 40%. So Legion are going to be relying heavily on Dalton's grab here to make this work, because they're going to be, Mayhem Academy will just try to be extremely aggressive, potentially just run into them here on the high ground with the rally.
Very potentially the case, and Mayhem Academy for now, using the rally to secure high ground. Legion's going to say, you know what, you guys can have it. We're going to wait back here. But now they drop down. They're looking for the pressure on the Panker. They get the displacement, but they displace on the other side. Back, almost off the side. Graviton in, Transcendence use the counter. Mayhem Academy still in it. Everyone's still up. No one in the pit here. Just him. Water, first to die again.
Water dead. There's the bomb as well. Is the bomb able to catch it? With the boop! Did they get booped?
They did, and Bishu, the bomb ends up with 2. Bishu putting on his carry pants here when Legion need it most.
Bishu has been the savior for Gladiators Legion. Set up from Dalton, though. Without Dalton having that grab to force the Transcendence to put Mayhem Academy to a much worse position, that bomb does not find the value, so Dalton was ultimately the most important catalyst.
Legion holding firm here. Still 5.5 minutes for Mayhem Academy. They could still set a quicker time. But you gotta admire the plays coming out from Bishu right now to make this close thus far.
Now Mayhem Academy are looking to re-enter. They will have a grab. They will have the combo of their own. And Wolf does not have trance. There is no trance for Wolf here, so their combo is looking strong. But Dalton, the return, still has another grab very soon. The grab, even if it doesn't kill anybody, could peel, could save their lives here in this engagement.
And he's built it on up. Last bit of damage came in for that. Just a secondary fire. Shax's gonna drop down. Very much telegraphing this Graviton, and lucky it wasn't Eden. Gets it in on the corner, shield pressure in the Panker. Bomb right over. They break the shield just as the bomb comes in.
Now they're going to need to pick up point. You see the rally invested for Mangachu late, but it's just cleanup now. There are no ults for Legion. There's no one alive. They're all on point. Sure, Panker can come back. Maybe Wolf can get the shatter, but nope. Or Wolf gets the shatter. Wolf gets the trance, not the shatter. As you see the charge come out. It's just cleanup though. It's done.
A long charge there towards the very end. And yeah, this is going to be Mayhem Academy setting a nearly equivalent time. It's going to be a little bit slower. But I have to say, we keep bringing it up. The shield pressure of Mayhem Academy is phenomenally good, because as the Graviton was going in, as the bomb was going forward, you could see that Panker's shield was just getting lower and lower and lower, and there was kind of a race against time. It's like you're playing MMO in a raid, and you have to beat a DPS check, and the DPS check was Panker's shield. They're able to break it on down. Bomb, of course, as a result, does enormous amounts of damage, takes down 2. And Mayhem Academy, you know, for as good as Legion was on their attack, they set an attack that's just about as quick.
Set a relatively equivalent time. Yeah. Obviously slower, but still relatively equivalent. I mean, the time banks are so high to where you can't look at either and be like, this is a huge advantage. Definitely still an advantage, though, for Legion overall. Legion probably going to run a similar composition. They ran on defense, Water on the Ana again. Now they need to recognize Water maybe, he was trying to use the nade aggressively on their first entry. Obviously doesn't have it when Manitin dies them. So Legion need to be peeling for him. Wolf and Lude both need to be watching for Water. Bishu as well. They need to be peeling for Water here, because Manitin will punish him. And Manitin, he's never necessarily a super flashy player all the time, though he does make flashy plays, but he is consistently good and makes good plays.
Hard to argue that. I mean, you want to talk about the experience on this Mayhem Academy team. Between Fact, Manitin, and Mangachu, you're talking about a team that really goes back to nearly the beginning. It's actually kind of nuts. But also, if I'm Legion, look, it's pretty obvious what the game plan is when you fight Legion. We saw it yesterday, you see it today. Teams are excessively going out of their way to go for Water first, and it's working. Water needs extra peel, and Water needs to stay way further back. Yeah,
Water getting the set nade off, actually catching Megachu as he exits the spawn. I mean, only one person, so not a huge amount of ult charge by any means. Mayhem Academy recognizing that. Making a swap, actually putting Eps onto the Moira. Going to be running him on the Moira here. They're going to look to take this fight extremely aggressively, maybe just move to point and ignore the backline or go top left. They have two options here. This Moira pick is obviously pointing towards, they're going to rush into them. They're not going to play it slow. They're going to move forward and try to run over the backline.
No, you try and take a decent amount of damage, heal it all up with Moira, get an early Coalescence and go from there. Panker, of course, going to head on out. And already the isolation, Dalton, the first one to fall this time. He just couldn't get out. Mayhem Academy, a lot more swift than I think the Legion were truly expecting there. And as a result, Mayhem Academy just easily get on the point A, and the Legion might be set up for failure here. If they go in the contest and lose people towards the end, it's going to lead to a very quick point B attack from Mayhem Academy. And right now, winning the poke war, just dominating Legion here in the corner. And everyone from Legion is going to fall, and more importantly, no one from Mayhem Academy fell. They're bringing this directly to point B.
Really like the swap up onto the Moira with putting Eps there, where they recognize when there's no Brigitte on the field, you can really just run past people with your own Brigitte. Your backline will be peeled, your Moira can shift past people, your front line will have no power. Now gonna run it down mid, gonna take it here to the point, put the point pressure. And
nice move from Bijou, splits them off, buys a little bit of time. That was epic, moving in. And look at the amount of time it buys Legion to set up.
Still gonna be setting up here, but Mayhem Academy overall still in a very good ult charge percentage, with Panker making the swap onto Ryan here as well. You see the nade go out. There's not going to be any follow-up, though. Not going to be any way to punish the rest of Mayhem Academy. They're on the high ground here, looking to set this engage. Fact Fiction probably going to look for just drop a solo Shatter, if anything.
They threw damage on the Bijou. They threw him to the backhand side. Still coming in from the back. Shatter in from Fact. Knocks Panker right to the ground. They'd love to finish that off, but Panker gets the nano boost, still healthy and whole. Now Transcendence in from Legion, pushing back into Mayhem Academy. The Coalescence gone. They don't have a Transcendence because, of course, they're not running the Zen. But they built up the beat. They're going to have to use the beat in response to the grab. Self-destruct for Bijou. Pushed off! Nice setup there. Just kept it on top and pushed it forward when it was needed most.
Bijou is playing these off angles so well, sitting behind Mayhem Academy. He's not getting punished. They're not really shooting him. When there's no Zen on the field, it's a lot tougher to just immediately burn the Diva as well. And then masterful bomb setup, puts it up on the ledge, pushes the guy down.
This is just, again, this is a breakout moment for Bijou in terms of his Contenders play where, you know, we gave him the benefit of the doubt there was recovering, but it's like a switch has been flipped here on Hanamura.
Looking very, very good. Panker now has the Shatter as well, built it from the Nano, and Mayhem Academy have really no ults for this upcoming fight. It's going to be the neutral fight for them versus the Shatter versus the Beat. But they traditionally do very well on them.
There's going to be a double flank kick coming in here from the Legion in the front and in the back. Water, though, out of the fight, still winnable for Mayhem Academy, even down Paintbrush. Losing to Lucio early, probably one of the most recoverable situations for a team on the attack.
Mayhem Academy, actually, they've rotated lower to peel. Make sure Megachu would stay alive there. He got booped down. Actually just going to rotate back out through main, reconnect with Paintbrush. So the traded frags there don't really give them anything.
And Mayhem Academy decided they're just going to wait for Paintbrush to head on back. They don't want to try and take the 5v5 while they have the chance. Now it's going to be a slow rotation the other way, where again, look at Bijou again in his positioning, holding back, and his entire goal here just going to be the disrupt.
Disrupt, the poke, pressure the shield, always be in an angle where Shax can't keep a direct eye on him either when trying to set up grabs. See Megachu actually trying to get rushed down there in the hallway. Legion committing.
They get Water, though, again. Water in a rough spot, down early, and now it's a lot harder here for the Legion. Dalton drops a grab, Shatter in from Fact on the other side. Not going to get as much as he wants, but Bijou is gone. His bomb comes at a dear price, and Maniton still in the fight, even though he's stuck in Pilot Diva form. Shatter from Panker, not going to do a whole lot. Mayhem Academy has been thoroughly disrupted here, though, and with Fact going down, that's going to be it.
That was an ambitious push for the rest of Mayhem Academy. They decided to go to point, thinking they could still win, but with Bijou giving his life there, he really traded for two. He killed Paintbrush, he deleted Fact's barrier, and he demeched Maniton. That's essentially trading for two. When a fight, you have to rotate immediately to the point if you're going to win it from there. Now, there's one fight left for Mayhem Academy to get to the point, and they have no ults. Again, no ults.
Final 20 seconds left for Mayhem Academy. I mean, really...
Well, they're building up to some ults. They are building up to the combo very soon.
Their best win condition here is hoping that Water dies first in an early fashion, which has been the trend. But Water as rally should be a little bit safe in the norm. Bijou, quite a bit of poke damage here early on. Water goes in deep. Water, are you going to die early again? He's going in, gets poked pretty low, but the rally, it's keeping him alive here, Avast.
You see Fact got knocked out of lower, actually got the charge off. Did Legion just not keep trapping Fact at all? Under no circumstance should that have worked.
And it's working even better for the Mayhem Academy. The self-destruct grabs too. The Legion, they go a little bit deep, a little bit over aggro to start things out. The Mayhem Academy, they clean it up at the end. They're gonna get a 4th point.
Legion made a crucial mistake. They boop Fact lower. Great, awesome, Water gets him out, but they don't keep track of him. He's able to just flank charge in, walk all the way up the stairs and just flank charge, catch Dalton, and set up the first pick.
Now Legion just desperately trying to go for the delay, hoping for the miracle, but here's the thing, it's 3-3. To get an early pickoff here, to somehow disrupt this, would require the miracle of miracles, and that's just not gonna happen. Emergency Doomfist coming on in. Emergency Doomfist going on out. And I'll give Legion this much credit. It's a good amount of delay, especially if they had the burnt time off the clock, but it's overtime, doesn't matter. 0.4, going the way of Mayhem.
Legion making a heroic defense, but just a small mistake. Just such a small mistake of letting Fact climb up to the point and getting a charge, getting a pick because of it in return. If they were going to stay and ignore Fact, they needed to run into. They needed to commit hard into the rest of Mayhem Academy, into their backline. There's no shield presence. There's no Ryan to deflect for them. But they sort of middled on point for a bit. They didn't make a decisive move.
I'll say this much in reflection, regardless of win or loss for this map for the Legion. I think if Bishu can keep playing like this, he's well on track for a return to Overwatch League for Stage 3. Because this has been really good for him so far. I mean, it is just kind of one map in Hanamura that he's been shining and looking like his old self, but that's also why you do a two-way contract, where people look at two-way more so from the perspective of, is this player OW already, but how the Legion have used Bishu on a two-way contract, saying, okay, our player was, essentially injured with just being unable to play for a long period of time, and Overwatch League requires peak performance. How do we get him back in shape? Put him down here at Contenders for a little bit, let him get back his game sense and form, and go from there, and it's looked pretty good for Bishu.
It has looked pretty good for him, and most importantly, even if he hasn't always looked great, hasn't always looked this Hanamura level of good, it's important to consistently keep that practice up so you can reintegrate him later on into the lineup in the scrims.
All that being said, though, the Legion very much would like to keep this in contest. They would like to get a shot to go to the grand finals here in NA East. And for now, they do the early scouting, and they're going to swap over the 3-3.
Legion now swapping 3-3, moving in here. They have a lot of time on their bank. They did have a larger time bank than Mayhem Academy. Mayhem Academy, though, running that mirror, going to be holding close, going to be denying the push for Legion if possible.
Now remember, last Legion first attack, they were able to get Fact very heavily displaced early on. Instead, they just booped Fact back into his team. Not going to be anywhere near as rough of a spot. Eps got pretty low, healed on up, armor pack just in the nick of time. The Mayhem Academy right now just fighting the poke war. Will finding himself in a bit of danger, and we've rotated back over the point in full.
The rotation for Legion, though, actually very good. Being able to get through choke without losing anyone, not taking a significant loss, and able to get this close to the point is good. That's a win if you're the offense.
Well, they've put themselves in a good spot. Panker eats a bit of damage, gets the armor pack out. Be healed on up, and now they turn their tide to Bishu. Both Bishu and Panker getting poked so heavily here, and Mayhem Academy know it. Now they move in after doing so much damage to Bishu and Panker, and there's so little that the Legion can do about it. That's the power of winning the poke war.
Paintbrush's impact there on that initial engage is so huge. He denies the backline and even part of the front line coming forward to support Panker on the point with the boops, continually sets up boops, gets a frag. We talk about how a Lucio's impact can often be understated, but in 3-3, your most important playmaking ability as Lucio is boop. Yeah. And Paintbrush made very good use of it there.
Well, Mayhem Academy almost full 6 ults here. Legion actually building quite a bit as well. I mean, they're going to have to slow play this a little bit. They have 3 minutes, so they still have plenty of time. Mayhem Academy, though, I don't think they're going to wait too long. I think they expect them to be more aggressive.
See right now the rallies are going to be traded, allowing Legion to rotate.
Whoa!
Oh, that's a big shatter!
He just read Legion like a book, drops the shatter, felt the time was right, forced out the Transcendence, and now this makes the job for Shaxx real easy when he gets the Graviton up at about another 10%. And Dalton's grabbing on the other side!
That makes it even easier. That makes it a lot easier.
This fight has not gone well for the Legion. Merrigan invested here from Mayhem Academy. Shatter in from Panker. Does knock down Shaxx, and Shaxx is gone! Shaxx down to the bomb combo, there's not gonna be on the ground. Mayhem Academy, now they have to transcend, it's nowhere near secure. A raw bomb out here from Anaton, hoping it does something, does a whole lot of nothing on the other side. And Legion Legion the fight back in their favor.
And you see right now the focus fire is so strong for Legion. The rally's traded. Paker does it again. He does it again, ZP. Yeah. Oh, just getting one to set up the bomb there for Bishu means without a Shaxx, when there's no grav, when there's all that damage missing, they could just slowly but surely win the fight. Paker does it again.
Also, I mean, you have to direct a big criticism there, the Shaxx, where Shaxx not only ended up getting hit by the Shatter, but also on top of it, it was a slow grav build. The reason why they couldn't grav earlier is that it took them a while to even get grav up.
Now Legion moving here from the mid, actually swapping Mangachu onto the Ana, looking for anti-needs.
Graviton can be in here, traded out for the Transcendence. Legion with a very powerful opportunity. As soon as Transcendence fades, they can invest the barrier. And all the while, Paker looking for a shadow opportunity. See, Graviton in, Paker moving forward. And Mayhem Academy, nothing they can do, no response at the very end. This is going to be another point on the board here for the Legion. More importantly, setting up an uncontested attack round to take Hanamura outright.
This is a very fast push comparatively to the rest. Comparatively to Mayhem, you see now swapping onto stall. They can't touch. Very good offense there for Legion, especially for their push onto second, realizing that Academy had no ults. They really had no ults to stop that combo at all. They could not. That's why they had Mangachu on the Ana to hopefully maybe the nade, maybe the sleep would make a huge play there. Wasn't really able to get either. So now they're going to be moving in, working into the rest. And if this is a draw, this is still fine for Mayhem Academy. The draw doesn't mean anything. It gets negated. There's no good or bad. You just move past it. And it's still okay for Legion, but Legion obviously want the win.
And also, I mean, with how Mayhem Academy have been playing the early defense, if they can have a defense as good as their last defense on point A, that'll be enough for a point A hold. I also think, you know, even though it was, kind of called it out, I wouldn't expect Shaxx to have as slow of a build, but okay. Now Mayhem Academy is going to be swapping up, where I think the reasoning behind this has to be that because they ran 3-3 multiple times, that Legion isn't going to expect it, but Legion, they have good practices here. They're going to scout no matter what, just to be sure that they don't get bamboozled, and this time Dalton's going to see that something's up.
This is a very risky play for Mayhem Academy. They only need to give up one tick. I mean, Legion just need one tick. Literally one tick to win the map here. And when you're running the triple DPS with the solo tank, this old egg Hammond, your point contest is, it's not terrible, but it's much more limited than if especially if the other team is able to make it effectively to point and get the rotation to point.
Water here on the far, of course. Right now, Legion, they're just scouting to see, Mayhem, are you on a 3-3? And quickly now, they're going to realize, yep, they're not on a 3-3. And you see the swaps coming from Legion where, credit to Legion where it's due here, in that they don't just assume that's going to be 3-3 again, they always scout.
Now Mayhem Academy, their goal here is to poke. Their goal here is to poke and get an EMP as soon as possible. If they can get a pick on the rotations, great. It is going to be a little bit harder now for them since they've put Dalton onto them. McCree is going to be shielded a lot by water, getting that pressure as well, getting the peel from Bishu, and trying to deny Mangachu this height. But Mangachu already 80%.
Pile driver in from Fact. Water down first in the fight. In fact, is he going to be able to get out here? Epps is down, so that's why Fact is getting a whole lot of heals. Epps was under pressure from Dalton the whole while, and okay, Fact can get out, but who's really here? The heal on Paintbrush has to find time to split between him and Mangachu now.
And also, they lost Bishu. They get the res onto Epps here as well. This is a very rough position. Yeah. Initially, the rotation was great for Legion, but they tried to push out so early, and they're sort of stuck here where they have EMP coming up soon. They have the barrage, a very, very good combo.
Not being able to deny the res is a
Epps
really
is down again,
point. Epps, though, all right, down one more time, still something that Legion can work with. Pile driver in. Fact, absolutely deleted on the other side, and even as the barrage rains in from the other side, Mayhem Academy, they're so wounded here that pulling this back is going to be difficult. Remember, they can't even give up 33%. Someone has to touch the point.
Manatin has to get EMP here as well. Without EMP, there is no fight. Manatin's dead. Legion are on the point. They're controlling it. They also have their Zen in such a great position. Epps getting picked from the rotation there was huge. They don't have the res for later in the fight. They didn't have the antis. They didn't have the heals as a stain. No nano. Really good rotation. Really, really good rotation from Legion.
I don't really know why Mayhem Academy swapped that. I mean, I guess the idea was throwing them for a loop, but Dalton was scouting every single time. I think that if Legion decided to go in and just blindly run in with 3-3 and run into that, it would have been a little bit worse, but they did their due diligence on scouting. They always look to see if it was the right move. They see that, hey, it's not 3-3. They swap to something that can deal with it. Dalton is able to find a very unlikely pickoff onto the Ana. I mean, McCree to Ana, that's not something you see from that range super frequently. makes it work, and as a result, still got ourselves a series.
They do. They're still alive. I mean, remember, it's first to three. First to three, that is the series victor. And Mayhem Academy, obviously, at 2. They just need one more map. But there is a chance now for Legion to bring it back. If they win 2 in a row, the series is over. We're not have to worry about, a map differential. It's literally just first to 3. And they show life. They've shown some life here on Hanamura. Now, a lot of that is based off of Bishu making some incredible hero plays.
I mean, what more can you say? Bishu came alive in a way that we haven't seen him in a very long time. Of course, a player that is Overwatch League caliber, a player that has been very important to the main LA Gladiators squad throughout their Overwatch League tenure. And we were reminded why. Is all I have to say.
We were definitely reminded why.
We got a reminder here. And also Panker, of course, playing really well. You think about how they took point A, just a shatter onto Shax, the bomb perfectly timed. The tank line for the Legion has really come alive here. And, it's pretty fitting because there's been contender seasons in the past where even though they haven't won it all, they've usually had the best tank line.
And something to note as well is on top of their tank line being really good, Dalton on Zarya has been out, I think in all cases, outpacing Shax. The one thing Shax, I think, has an advantage over comparatively is that Shax has great placement, but Dalton builds grabs at an incredible rate, a very, very fast rate. He has them almost every fight, it feels like. And then he's able to make the swap onto McCree, get an impact pick. So important to show that flexibility there, too.
I'd argue it's one of the main areas where they've been outperforming Mayhem Academy so far because even though Shax is no slouch, you take a look at between Shax and Dalton, if I had to choose one of the two in the series so far, I'd be going for Dalton.
He's been doing very, very good.
No.
Very, very good. As we move into our fourth map, not our last map, potentially our last map, but not our last. It's not a traditional 4-map series. It's Gibraltar. We haven't seen this yet in playoffs.
No, we haven't. And Gibraltar, of course, a map that goes to verticality a little bit more. And as a result, it shouldn't be a surprise that Mayhem Academy has picked this. Remember? This is loser picks map. And you have to think the reason why Mayhem Academy wants to bring this to Gibraltar is that for a team that really prides itself on flexibility, a team that prides itself on not always having to run a 3-3, Gibraltar, especially in points A and point B, it gives you options to go off and run strategies that are more unconventional.
See both teams getting ready to move out here. Legion going to be on the defense first because it is the winning team that picks the side of the map and the losing team that picks the map. They've chosen the defense here first, running the 3-3. Mayhem Academy still running their own 3-3. Probably going to have Shax use that Sonic Arrow just to scout, see if the Legion are holding close, and then make swaps accordingly if they need to.
So Mayhem Academy likely just going to be a normal 3-3 for the early offense here. Legion on defense much the same. And Legion, I mean, they're holding a little bit far up, but it doesn't seem like they're trying to be too super aggro. Team-wise, a lot of teams will just decide to hold further back beyond the realms of the car wash.
Though when you're in the mirror of the Rhine mirror, yeah, eventually they're going to be playing the car wash out. There it is. They're in the lower, as it's affectionately called, the car wash. Mayhem Academy, they're going to drop down together, look to take this fight.
And Panker eats so much damage on entry, and Mayhem Academy just going to chase it on down, and nothing that the Legion can do to deal with that deficit in HP early on, and now it's just going to snowball fully in favor of Mayhem Academy. Legion, though, the one upside is that the payload's far enough back. They will get at least one more shot, and the problem that they have, of course, is that ult-wise, Mayhem Academy going to be a better spot is Fact might go for something sneaky here.
They're in a better spot, but Wolf does have to pick up relatively early. They'll have something to counteract. Shax trying to contest this high ground, actually be forced to drop. Legion not letting him take the high ground. Very smart move.
Backing out back here. Definitely posturing this via Shatter because you know what? He does. Legion holding back. And if you're Mayhem Academy and you usually win the poke war, you still continue going for that here. Facto, his shield under more pressure. Panker actually A-okay. Shatter coming in from the side, and it's going to knock down one. Forces out the Transcendence early. And now Shax getting grabbed on. The win setup here for Mayhem is going to be there.
There's the early transfer as well. The bash setting up the trans. All that
totally whiffed! The Graviton from the other side. Dalton doesn't get anyone. Instead, just melts out Mangachu the old-fashioned way. The grab from Shax doesn't have to fall through as expected because Mangachu is down. Bishu with the bomb gets a cleanup. So even with Dalton's grab whiffing, Legion still take the fight.
They do. They do take the fight. Their focus fire exceptionally good there. On top of that, the beat from Paintbrush far too late. Comes out trying to keep Fact Fiction alive, is not able to do so. So they committed the beat, they committed their grab, and did not win the fight. And they're in a situation here where Legion will still have both support ults for the coming fight. They will not still have Wolf Wolf another.
This is scary for Mayhem Academy. Not only is this their map, but We've seen teams fall here on first in the situation with only a minute 40 left and drained on ults. Legion have a very good chance of holding.
The question is for Mayhem Academy is that do they commit Manatin's bomb in this next fight to zone to try to isolate a player? There is double support to keep people alive through bomb, and Panker has shatter, and we'll be looking to use it when the setup is out.
Panker getting displaced left, right, and center right now. Under heavy pressure. Bomb from Manatin up over the top and not in position to get anything. Meanwhile, Panker drops a hammer. Epps hitting the ground on the other side. Mayhem Academy looking threatened. That
was great for Mayhem Academy, actually. They didn't lose anyone, and they've got 3 ults out of Legion for the bomb.
Legion gonna drop the grab. The last ult that they have here, answered in turn by Transcendence. Lude able to get Shax off the grab. Man advantage now to the Legion. Pushing it back on forward, they use it to take down Epps. And Mayhem Academy down to a final minute.
And I say that fight was great, and as soon as that happens, they're able to isolate Shax. Shax being down means no bubbles, no high damage without that high energy. Legion bringing it back in the end, still in control of the point. But in the next fight, Mayhem Academy, I mean this last fight here, and they need to get grabbed. They need to get value from this beat.
This is immensely scary for Mayhem Academy. Map 5 could be waiting in the wings if they're not able to get anything off this point A attack here. Okay, Lude gets Megachu down early. The focus fire on him. The rest of Legion, the break out early, but so is Panker. So winnable here for Mayhem Academy. The shatter in from Fact, the bomb falling through, but Fact ends up killing his life. The Transcendence from Roof, keeping Legion alive. They're gonna turn the fight back in their favor. That's gonna be it. The Legion hold off Mayhem Academy here on point A.
And this is their pick, CP. This was their map pick. And they were not able to get first. Got first held so close to the cap, but just couldn't. I mean, Shax, did Shax build he built 1 grab, and Dalton built, what, at least 2, 3?
Shax is getting outplayed hard by Dalton. There, that much is to be sure, but now you just think about what has to be running through Mayhem Academy's mind. If they are not able to hold here on point A, if we go to a map 5, they're suddenly at risk of not only getting knocked out from playoffs here, not getting another shot at Fusion University to say that the first time wasn't a fluke, but don't forget, there's no lower bracket run here otherwise against the Atlantic Showdown. Whatever team loses here, that's it. They are done until Contender Season 2. So Mayhem Academy, who came in the overwhelming favorites, who started out with 2 map wins, I can't imagine what the pressure must be like on them right now.
Very heavy pressure is what I would imagine. Enough pressure to make it where you can make mistakes. Pressure can make mistakes. It can make some teams into diamonds. You know, it's like a lump of coal. Pressure can turn some into diamonds, and other times it just blinds you out into a big, ugly rock, and you don't really get much out of it. And this is where you see how champions are made, is how they respond to pressure.
I have to say, if the Legion are able to pull this back, my storyline is still going to go back to Hanamura and Bishu just having the game of his life. But also, of course, the resurgence of Panker, where, you know, I'd argue Panker hype had died down quite a bit. But if the Legion somehow pull the upset here...
We would never allow this to happen on broadcast. Panker hype with ZP not being alive, it simply can't be allowed.
You know, that was the world we were entering. It was pretty grim.
Yeah, it was grim, but it's been saved. Legion potentially going to use the Symmetra here to set up? No, they're just going to make the swap
There's no way. Yeah, okay. Bishu's going to swap back. I think they just wanted to have an option if Mayhem was being sneaky and way too far forward, because then they could have been flanked. Mayhem Academy, though, we have seen them have a very good Gibraltar hold in the past. This is the map where you can counter full hold for full
This is
hold.
the right play, too. Yeah, holding aggressively in the spawn. Water on the Hog, actually. Trying to get hooks, trying to get an early pick. Probably going to go back, making the swap onto the Brigida here, because when Mayhem Academy, when they see Hog, they know they can pressure the front line much more heavily because there's no armor pack, no Bash.
You don't have Brigida there, they'll erase mistakes, essentially, where Bash can erase mistakes of positioning, and armor pack, take a little bit too much poke damage, it's there. Hog, oh, he just heals himself.
Legion actually going to making the rotation onto the high ground, up here onto this bridge. Setting up, their backline, probably setting up Dalton here as well when they drop and looking to get poked.
Both teams going to trade off between who's offense and who's defense. Mayhem Academy, more pressure for them to just continually touch a card. They don't want Legion to start running away with it.
This is actually great for Mayhem Academy because now their supports, their backline has a door to hide in. In fact, this is an even better position than before.
It's actually, yeah, as you say, it's not bad for them. Also, they've been winning the poke war right now. Legion getting out poked here. It's why they're getting pushed back. And now Mayhem Academy say, you take enough damage. Now it's time to go. Beat gonna be dropped. They force Transcendence. And Water's caught! Water can't get to the Transcendence early. And that gives Mayhem Academy the man advantage here. as Legion finds himself in a very, very tough spot. The shield pressure on the Panker now absolutely overwhelming. Mangachu, though, in a bit of danger, ends up falling. But now before Wolf falls on the other side, Legion say we still want to fight it. They drop the beat, they move on over. But Fact says enough of that. Drops the hammer, puts Bishu to the ground.
To the ground, but the charge goes out for Panker post-trans. They are going to get these frags still. Shaq so high energy, so low, actually just going to jump off the map. I think they're done though. Mayhem Academy are resetting. The fight is over, but a good first hold. They got ults out of Legion as well. They burned off almost what, like 2 minute time, 2 minutes?
Yeah, it's 2 minutes off the clock, but they still have 2 minutes to go. Next fight going to be incredibly impactful for the game, especially in regards to what ults end up getting used.
They know Legion doesn't have double support ult here, so they know they can set up a grab combo much more effectively. The real question is, will Legion be able to set up better?
Well, the also question is, can Bishu eat the grab? This is where champions are made. Shaq's holding onto his grab, waiting for the opportunity, drops the grab under pressure, gonna connect. Bishu's bomb off to the side, takes out Shaq's, both stars out of the fight. Mangachu moving in, water gone! And as a result, Mayhem Academy going to be taking the fight. Minute 20 left for Legion to keep their season alive. Mayhem Academy at stake, of course, a trip to the finals.
Legion have to be hitting themselves in the head a little bit there because they got ults out of Academy, they got the combo out, but then Water dies late in the fight, investing Rally because of it. If they had Rally for this next fight, if they had this Rally ad, they're in a good position to move forward, to remove ults from Academy and set up Pink and Shatter.
Paintbrush on top, beat in reserve. Legion, time running out, final 50 seconds. This could be the last fight.
See the poke. Right now, the high ground controlled by Legion. Bishu just sitting up there with Water, maybe looking to set up the Bash Shatter. Water sitting on the high ground. There's the Shatter out. Does not.
They drop the Shatter.
No, they got Manitin. Yeah.
Oh, the beat. No, beat doesn't come in time. Manitin not going to save his mech, so the beat essentially wasted. Legion changing Shatter for beat. Not a bad play. Final 30 seconds.
Not just Shatter for beat, but Manitin's out of mech. Manitin's out of mech, and if Dalton get grabbed, this could be a free grab scenario.
Moving on in, Transcendence out. Legion applying pressure. Fact dropping the hammer in the face of adversity. Panker down! They can't keep him up! And now the respawn in for Mayhem Academy.
This is last fight, they have to commit.
Yep. Manitin's got his mech back. It's a full 6 for Mayhem Academy. Legion sees it on the line. Mayhem looking to bring it to the grand finals. Graviton in from Dalton. Here comes a bomb from Bishu. Looking for it. Gets 2! The Legion fighting tooth and nail. Make it 3 for Bishu. Got the D-Mech for good measure.
There are no ults for Academy. The boot's so huge. The bomb. Can they stay alive and clean up?
Bishu gets the 4th. Bishu playing out of his mind here on Gibraltar. Legion fighting it on back. Do we have a map 5?
It's a map 5.
There. Map 5, Mayhem. You don't have the finals here just yet.
That was huge from Bishu. And also, we give the credit to Bishu, but Letty gets the boop.
Yeah.
Letty gets the boop there, setting up that initial double bomb. But then Bishu afterwards still gets the hunt, goes down, finds Eps. It looks so good for Mayhem Academy there. They saved their transfer so long. They had the ults they needed, but Dalton does it. He has grab. He gets grab before Manitin gets into mech, and they're safe.
Absolutely unbelievable. Legion coming alive later in the series where, again, even just thinking back to yesterday, Legion was playing good, but they were playing... But we saw in the first 2 maps, just clearly Mayhem was better. And yet Legion now, in the final 2 maps here, it's a completely different team. They're playing with a ferocity that we did not see before. Bishu has reclaimed his old status. And now, we go into map 5. Let's get decide it all. And again, I just wonder what is running through Mayhem's head right now.
Just really, really bad, increasingly worried man is Mayhem Academy right now. And we talked about how pressure it can be the... you are either made into a diamond or you turn into a flat, ugly rock. And Mayhem Academy are looking flat, ugly rock status right about now and not so much coal turning into diamond status. So they really need to pick it up here. They had such win conditions in that final fight too. And I talked about how Panker, it was good because not only did they trade Shatter for beat, but they traded Shatter for beat and also for Manitin's mech, which set up Dalton later in the fight. And, we just go back to the causality of events. It's, Panker sort of does it again. I mean, he sort of does.
Careful right now. Careful. You're kind of trading on my territory. You're stealing my thing right now.
I'm taking it.
Only I can recognize Panker's excellence. No one else.
No one else can do it. And we are going to get into our 5th map, our final map of the series, because you can't draw on Control. You cannot draw on Control, so there is no possibility here. It's going to be Nepal.
Mayhem Academy, their season on the line. Legion, a team that really struggled throughout the regular season, even at one point at risk of not making playoffs, has come alive here in the most unpredictable of ways. And one thing to note, Mayhem Academy, they do have the old Fusion University effect going for them, which is that if you're good on control, you can win the first control map, just take one of the next 3 maps, and still find your way to control again. So if they're the streak breakers, if they've inherited the magic of Fusion University, you would think that they would have a better showing here than they did in the last 2 maps.
This is a very, like, Chronicles of Riddick lore. I don't know. Do you know Chronicles of Riddick? Have you ever seen that movie?
I've seen the movie. I've seen Vin Diesel, yes.
You have seen, so, you know, it's just like you keep what you kill. So is that sort of what is that what has happened to Mayhem Academy since they defeated Fusion Unity?
They've inherited the Map 5 curse.
They've inherited the Map 5 curse. Huh?
Exactly.
Interesting. An interesting theory if true. It could ring true. I mean, we could see it right here.
I actually think that could be the world we're living in now. If they come back and win that, that is our story that we're sticking
There it is.
with.
I agree. I'm glad we've got our story.
Yeah, I think it's a good one.
We're more effective at building our plot than the George R.R. Martin. We've already ready for the next publication.
Well, we've just made an attempt to write more than what he could say. He just watches the Jets lose all day. But regardless, we're getting into it. Final map here between the Legion and Mayhem Academy. Legion looking for a deeper run into playoffs than they've ever had. Mayhem Academy, of course, looking for much the same. Been a fairy tale season for Mayhem Academy so far, but it might be coming to a very grim ending. Nepal is where it's all going to be decided here.
So Mayhem Academy rolling out on this triple DPS setup. Again, Fact Fiction on the Hammond, mentioned on the Sombra. Legion rolling out pretty standard 3-3. They might just run back to spawn and swap. As you see, the point hasn't even flipped yet. Yes, they are. They're going back. The standard swap, and now the counter swap for Mayhem. Here it begins. The game of hero swaps begin once again.
Now, if Legion were really doing their homework, they would do what we saw in Contenders Korea and just stay on the point and not swap at all, but all right.
No, they don't. They don't know those mind games. They don't know the triple swap.
The best thing is that, okay, Legion's going to come out, they're going to see, oh no, Mayhem is swapped.
And now Mayhem's on 3-3. Yeah, are we going to go back and swap, or are we going to commit because Dalton's on McCree?
This is the strongest H-key action you can ever imagine. And Legion, okay, Legion, they're still going to try and fight this Manitin. He gets D-mech'd early. Very winnable now for the Legion. And a lot of room for Dalton. Now he doesn't have to worry about the D.Va mech, at least for a while.
But I mean, with no Manitin mech, now Dalton is a lot stronger.
He's building his mech back so quickly. He has his mech back!
Well, okay, as we say that, but let's see, can he get a flashbang? He doesn't get the flash.
He missed the shot.
He missed it.
That was a straight miss.
Megachu's dead.
Megachu, though, down. Still winnable here for the Legion, despite some errors. 5-on-5, Dalton getting pretty low. Someone needs to heal this McCree back up. Gets away out of the fire strike. Moves over. Plenty of room to work with here. And Legion getting onto a point. Manitin out of the back once more. Shatter! Early Shatter! Moving in from back. Beat going to be invested. And here comes back the other way. Definitely wants to get to the grand final. Going to be taking Bishu off on the right. Get rid of the threat.
Trying to live. He's getting Primal, though. He is down. The Primal is out, but there's so much energy for Shax. There's so much health. Megachu investing the rally here.
And all the while, by the way, Legion was able to get control of the point. So it's 18% for them, 10% for Mayhem Academy. Mayhem Academy might be trading out better here, but the delay for Legion has been beneficial.
The delay has been extremely beneficial. Back Shatter opening it up. He was so close to dying there. Wolf even investing the trance to help chase him down, and he managed to get Mega Pack. He got Mega Pack, rotated back, sets up the Shatter. Great play from Fact there.
Fact taking matters into his own hands, saying, you know what, Panker, you're not the only one who can carry your team right now. Let me show you what I'm made of.
And this is still overall a better trade for Mayhem Academy, considering that they now own point again. They're going to have the better time bank. They've built up a grab. They have trance.
Pretty good spot here, holding aggressively. Graviton up for Shax. He's now looking for a way in. Graviton can be out. And Shax gives up his life for it. Here comes the bomb right over to the top. Bishu, his bomb deals him, and so does Manitins. And Manitins gets quite a bit more. Mayhem going to continue to hold here in the ball.
They're going to get these late frags here as well. Going to catch Wolf, going to catch Panker. Won't be able to catch Lede. He'll be able to get out. Better grab combo. Despite Shax getting caught, they set up a grab. They had the bomb out there in a good position to follow up, so it's still fine.
Mayhem Academy in a good spot now, about to be at 60%. Earth Shatter up for the next fight. Legion looking positively drained, but a beat is about to be up.
Beat's going to be up soon. The counter beat over Paintbrush not too far away either. Legion likely going to initiate with the rally, going to get in, going to try to put a lot of pressure onto Fact, set up Panker.
Well, Megachu was looking for the sneaky bash to set up the Shatter. Not quite going to get it. Back instead, just moving forward. Drops the Shatter in the middle. But the Shatter from Panker doing far more here, and they use it to take down two.
That was a pretty okay fight for Legion, and now it turned into an actually not that great fight. Modern investing rallied there at the end. They won't have rally for the following fight. Mayhem are going to be fine to move in here. They even got beat out of Lede for the gauge. So they're in a great spot.
Yeah, Mayhem Academy is in a very good spot here. And don't forget, too, one more fight. That's going to be the round in all likelihood. So they can set up for this. They have time. They have ult advantage. Now, if they somehow lose this fight, let's just say it's a lot worse.
Then it's rough, but it's triple support versus no shatter, no grab. They can walk forward and be free. They might not know Dalton doesn't have grab yet, but they need to be so aggressive here.
Well, they've used the rally, they've used the beat, and Paintbrush feels the power. They go for the displacement. Looking for the heavy damage on the Panker. Of course, they force out the Transcendence rule, but now the Transcendence is gone. Panker, though, he's built up Shatter mid-fight. Gonna drop the Shatter, knocks down 2. Mangachu, in fact, in a much tougher spot here. Fact Fiction down! Rulf able to finish off what Panker ends up starting, and the Legion win a fight that Mayhem had advantage in.
This is grim. This is extremely rough for Mayhem. They knew they had a support ult advantage, but they invested it so early, couldn't catch any frags. Not only did they get shattered, but they're coming up into combo now with no support ults. 0.
How the tables have turned. One final fight here from Mayhem Academy. First round in the tiebreaker, season on the line. Dalton holding on to the grab. Gonna pick up plenty with the grab back. Dropping the shot in return. They're just using it to take up the on, but they're not looking to the sky. Bishu's bomb takes down 2. The Legion have fought their way back in here on the paw. They're gonna take round 1. And they're one round away from ending Mayhem Academy season.
Now just clean up here on the point, no ults available. And something to note, Dalton managed to build grabs before Shax again. He's consistently outbuilding Shax. Shax had 3 support ults to build a grab in that fight and did not. He had 3 support ults.
It's been an uncharacteristic game for Shax where usually we've looked at Shax as one of the more consistent Zaryas, but he just is not finding the ability to build the way that he normally does. The disparity between him and Dalton, absolutely tremendous. And now Mayhem Academy, we're building narrative pressure on a team. This is it, your undefeated season. The Fusion University Slayers. You could be gone at the end of this round.
And that would be grim. That would be very, very grim for them. That would be unfortunate.
Meanwhile, Gladiators Legion, in just insane performance here. Win or lose, they have a lot to be proud of, but it's all the more sweeter. You still have the ability to go to the Atlantic Showdown, and of course getting to the Grand Finals.
They are running their triple to US here again, going to be peeking out. Probably going to have to, I doubt they're going to be able to get out to this high ground effectively. They aren't. They weren't there fast enough. They got locked out. They didn't have a Lucio. Now having to rotate to main, making sure getting discorded, getting focused a little bit, but they're not able to catch him.
This is a very risky setup here from Mayhem Academy. It's DPS heavy, but if they don't get first control, they're likely going to have to swap and have really bad ult advantage, but Water's down. Water is found early. Trap coming up here, Maniton able to rotate his way back in, and Mayhem Academy, DPS heavy or not, they get first control.
They get first control. Now they can chase Mangachu. He's on top of the backline here. That was one of the smartest baits I've seen in a while. At Mayhem Academy, they just do some crazy smart things. And once again, they baited Shax and Epps on the high ground and had Mangachu City, or had Maniton, not even Mangachu. You expect to see Mangachu on the Junkrat. He's on the Pharah. Maniton was on the Junkrat. He had the trap set up and was able to get a pick because of it.
Water swapping over to the Genji now. Legion showing us something that we haven't really seen a whole lot from them and going a more DPS setup. I mean, really, they've gone back in time. This is old school dive.
It is. It's 2-2-2 versus the DPS.
Panker just gets lit up. Moving on in, is healed up by the Transcendence of Water. What is going on? On the dive, he's able to get Shax. Meanwhile, that Mangachu dropping the barrage. Eliminates Panker, but it comes at a dear cost. Rule finishes him off while he's still immobile. Mayhem gonna invest Transcendence here in a fight.
Not able to save Paintbrush either. Yeah, the fight is not only over, but they couldn't even save Paintbrush. Tyre's gonna be up for Maniton. He won't invest. I would not be surprised at all for Mayhem to just swap now.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a full 3-3 swap. I would be very surprised if they stayed on this. And as good as Tyre is, sometimes you gotta throw it away.
You do have to throw it away. Paintbrush has to throw away the Valk too. It's just not worth it. Going to 3-3 here gonna be much better. The problem is they have no ults. They're at ult disadvantage. There's going to be a bomb up for Dalton, bomb up for Bishu. So how do you mitigate this? You need to have those bubbles up.
Well, step one, don't let Dalton stick someone here. Moves in, and oh, the stick!
Bubble is up.
But the bubble, yeah, the bubble's able to save it, but Epps still falling in the melee. Panker moving on in, Bishu's bomb connects. And this is, as you say, increasingly worried. Well, Mayhem fans, time to get real worried here. As Legion not only take the fight, but Mayhem Academy builds not a whole lot, and now Legion, very smart. They're swapping to a 3-3 of their own. This is real high IQ stuff.
This is objectively the right play from Legion. And Mayhem Academy have put themselves in a rough spot. They're moving to this next fight where, sure, Dalton and Bishu want to bolt, but they're coming into almost a triple support to Primal. So much is placed.
Immediately up to down! Panker removes him from existence. He just snapped on him. Moves in. And just absolute pandemonium. Panker just crushing her in the room. He might be falling, but the damage just absolutely done.
One ult used too, and Panker, he's not going to stay on Winston. He's going to swap to Rein.
That's maximum value. You get rid of the ult, you swap to Rein.
That was an incredible engage. You shouldn't be able to catch Epps at all in that entry. The armor pack and the bubble should be able to keep him alive. And he even juggled back from even able to charge back into the room too.
Mayhem Academy, the undefeated, one-team fight away from being knocked out. The Legion looking for the grand finals. It all comes down to this.
They need to know Dalton doesn't have grab, and Panker obviously will not have Shatter. They need to move forward. They need to be aggressive.
Both teams gonna exchange out beat. Mayhem Academy, Fact, looking for the Shatter. Builds the Shatter up mid-fight. That's Batum's team on his shoulders, drops it, knocks out both supports, but the bomb from Bishu does so much more. 3 down in the back. Bishu does it again. Mayhem Academy eliminated from contention, and the Legion move on to the grand finals tomorrow. What a resurgence for the Legion, but the collapse for Mayhem Academy.
That is the flat, ugly rock status.
It is.
Under the pressure. They did not get into Diamond. Mayhem Academy, I look at them, their play was so good the first 2 maps. They were playing exactly how we expected. Then Legion ramped it up, Bishu ramped it up, Panker ramped up, and more. And most importantly, honestly, when I look at it time and time again, Dalton outbuilding Shax at every opportunity. Shax did not get a grab again on that map. He did not get a grab at all. They would have loved to have you. Grab is sometimes you don't always use it to just win fights. Use it to keep yourself alive to your opponent's grab, and Shax still did not have it.
Shax getting outbuilt all the while, but that is one side of the story and super relevant to me. The resurgence to Bishu. He felt invisible to an extent on maps 1 2. Not like playing bad per se, but just not playing how Bishu usually played. He exploded literally and figuratively through the final 3 maps, over and over and over again. Super consistent off-tank play when Legion needed it most. And to me, the absolute star and clear reason why Legion were able to do what really no one would have predicted here and eliminate Mayhem Academy. So Mayhem Academy, they go from the Fusion University Slayers to done in their first match of the playoffs.
And it was a good match too, a really good match. I think you can't look at this and be like, Mayhem Academy played extremely poorly. Maybe a slight underperformance in what we expect for sure, especially when we look at their first 2 maps. But Legion looked like the best team they've looked in a long time. The best I've seen, I think they've looked in like 3 seasons.
Yeah, pretty much ever, I would say. But guys, we still have 3 more playoff matches left to go, 4 matches on the day. We knew this was going to be a crazy day for Overwatch, but man, what a way to kick things off. When we come back, Fusion University looks to defend their title and move forward against Montreal Rebellion.